We are digging deeper tonight into the background of the Kingsland police officer accused of voluntary manslaughter in the death of Tony Green. Newly released documents obtained by First Coast News provide an inside look into the background and the history of Officer Zechariah Presley.
So once again, he is charged with voluntary manslaughter, and we're also awaiting the identity of the man in the car with Tony Green when he was shot and killed. But let's get right out to First Coast News reporter Hani Rodriguez. She's live tonight with the latest information for us.
Hey, Anthony, that's right. We continue to learn more information about what led to Wednesday night's tragic ending. According to an arrest warrant we obtained, it says Officer Zechariah Presley acted in a reasonable manner. Now, the pastor that we've been in touch with, who's close friends with the Green family, thinks otherwise and told me Green has had a few run-ins with that officer.
A police officer is hired to protect and serve, not to harass and stalk and threaten.
Pastor Knight says Green has complained to the Kingsland Police Department and to the mayor about issues with Officer Zechariah Presley, and allegedly nothing was done.
Tony can't talk. Unfortunately, he's dead. So that body cam will be his voice.
The family is waiting for what they believe is a key piece of evidence that will keep Presley behind bars. He turned himself in on Wednesday and was booked into the Glynn County Jail shortly after. In an arrest warrant First Coast News obtained, it says Presley shot and killed Anthony Green after a brief physical altercation. According to the warrant, the altercation was intense, and the warrant calls it violent, sudden, and provoked by Green. The warrant says the altercation was enough to make a reasonable person fire a gun.
That was, to me, overkill and uncalled for.
I reached out to the district attorney's office, who told me they had no comment for now. And we also reached out to the GBI. They're telling us they are not going to release any more evidence in this case, at least for now. In Kingsland, I'm Hani Rodriguez, First Coast News, on your side.